I'm going to show you the top 10 strongest characters in Marvel Strike Force right now, and I guarantee the list is not what you think it is. We have new characters beating out Mythics, and we have a reworked character claiming the number 2 spot. Let's take a deep dive into the roster and look at the new kings of Marvel Strike Force. What we're doing is looking at the official power rankings on the Marvel Strike Force website, and we're just trying to get a picture of what is coming in the game. Coming in at number 10 is Franklin Richards. This is actually good news. It shows us that this team, the Fantastic Four MCU, is still formidable. They still hit hard, they do very well, and they lock down their main game mode, Arena. And Franklin must indeed get it from his mother, Sue Storm. She's the Invisible Woman MCU. Again, coming in at number 9. Great character, one of the hardest hitting characters in the game, which again keeps this team relevant and meta. The 8th strongest character in the game is Thunderstrike. He is a legendary character. He has excellent stats. I know for a lot of people, he seems lackluster. But again, if we're able to get those passive abilities and combine him with Blastar, he's supposed to be legit. Stat-wise, though, he is coming in at number 7. Now, when it comes to number 7, we want you to pay attention and look at this. We're talking about Red Guardian. He's a simple protector, and he's the 7th strongest character power-wise overall in the game, according to the Marvel Strike Force website. Now, keep in mind, that's above Mephisto, who's sitting at number 18. This is the first sign that that new stat era, that stat 3.0 has arrived, and it helps us to see really where the Winter Guard team has its place in Marvel Strike Force at present. Number 6 is Blue Marvel. He is indeed a stat-based character of raw power, right? A lot of us might not get a chance to use him in the near future, but still, ranking in at number 6, he's potent, he's strong, and he does indeed make a difference in this game. Coming in at number 5 is Ursa Major. Now, just an interesting point here. According to the website, he has almost 23 million health. Okay, there's times, right? There's times when those were a boss, right? There's times in this game where that was a boss character, and now this is a standard character, right? He's a standard character coming in with these new stats, ranking at number 5 overall in this game. Holding down the number 4 spot is Darkstar. She's 1 spot ahead of Ursa, but she's barely below Professor X, right? We haven't seen Professor X on this list yet, but she is here at number 4. So I just want you to think in your mind, what other characters that we haven't seen yet could be ranking above her? What does that mean? Once again, for the Winter Guard team, what does it mean for these characters, right? We have these new stats, right? They're just raw power. And the mechanics that go along with it are the things that are going to make these new teams that are coming to the game very interesting. Coming in at number 3 is Professor Xavier, right? The man himself. He has the kit and the stats. Now, we obviously want to make a point here. Raw numbers themselves are not the end all be all. Professor X is the strongest character in the game right now, period, hands down, even though he's not the number 1 ranked in overall power. But it does help us to see, once again, this Winter Guard team, when we talk about new stats, this new stat era, it does show what they're going to be capable of, right? Characters that are farther down on the list are more susceptible to being beaten simply because these new characters will be so much stronger. Characters that don't have special kits or special abilities are going to slowly start to get pushed out of the meta overall. Now, here's the shocker. Omega Red, the Red Death, is back. He is sitting here at the number 2 spot. He is, statistically speaking, the 2nd strongest character in the game right now. He's a legendary character. He's an old school character. They really gave him a buff. They really pumped him up. He's going to be great, man. He's going to be great. He's going to be safe to invest in. Again, I'm going to wait until we see what the new race to 110 looks like. I'm not bringing any of these characters up, but from an overall power wise, just stat wise, this is insane that Omega Red is now the 2nd strongest character in the game. And he's 2nd strongest only to who? Still at the top of the chart, the strongest character statistically in the game is indeed Odin, right? The All-Father himself. Now, why are we talking about this? Why are we having this discussion? Because I believe what's happening right now, obviously, is a reset, right? So we've talked about it in the past. What team should we build? Things like that. You can't catch up on Marvel Strike Force. And I don't think that that is true. I never think that is true. You always go after the newest teams. And that strategy for me has paid off. So if we're a newer player, let's say, or a returning player, or maybe we feel like we're falling behind in a game, I just want to reassure you that this list shows you the light, right? There's always reset moments in Marvel Strike Force. There's always teams, times, right? Timelines, things like that. That when you get in, it's just more economically better than other times. And it helps you to catch up, so to speak. So with this team here, the Winter Guard, they're just ridiculously strong, right? So you don't worry about the characters, right, that you missed 2 years ago. If you missed out on maybe an Apocalypse or something like that, we want those characters. I want those characters. But they cost a lot of investment to get, and the payoff is only that character. When you have a nice stat jump, as they announced, so you have the next team, in this case, the Winter Guard, you just have a team that overall is going to do better in the majority of game modes and help you out, right, overall. They're not going to necessarily guarantee you the win, but they are a great team to invest in. They're going to be the strongest team available in the game, so they're a great starting point for you to reset, so to speak, to get back in the swing of things. Just by way of example, we're just going to take a look at our Alliance War overall teams here. That's just in the roster screen. So we have Gamma, they're a very strong team. A lot of people obviously are not using them anymore. Underworld, because of the way their abilities work, because of the way their kit works, and the revitalization of Taskmaster, some people are making use out of Underworld. And then we have the War Dogs. Great team, solid, but nobody is using them anymore. And perhaps similarly speaking, it could be the same for the Nowhere team and the New Avengers. These are great teams, but you had to be around when they came out to get the use of them. What's going to happen, same with the Out of Time, what's going to happen, in my opinion, is that the Winter Guard team, just from new stats, what was going to happen now is the bottom teams are going to start to get pushed out. We're going to see some of the teams that we used a lot just simply get pushed out in the future from an overall stats perspective. The newer teams are just going to be so much stronger that even without strategizing, you'll just be able to run over old teams, right? You know how that goes when you pick a matchup that's you're just stronger, you just run over the other team. So that's what happens when the new stats kick in, okay? So earlier we heard people talk about skipping teams because of this and that certain newer teams are going to get eliminated. That's not how it works. The bottom teams are the ones that get pushed out just because the newer teams are so much stronger. We had things like this happen in the past. Depending on how long you've been playing, if we recall during the pandemic, Silver Surfer came to the game and he represented a new stat tier as well. He has a good kit, right? He has a decent kit overall, but the sheer amount of power he had when he arrived in the game. Now, this is before Annihilator team, right? So this is before he was on the Annihilator team. Just the sheer amount of power that he had made him amazing. But now, right, he's not that strong. So as the game continues on, everything new will indeed get old, but it does indeed remind us that this was a line in the sand. Everything, we used to measure everything before and after this character. On the other end of the spectrum, we have unique characters like the Spider Weaver. Again, stat-wise, she was strong when she came out, but the abilities that she had, her kit made her ridiculous. So what kind of character could come out this year, 2026, that would just be incredible? What kind of kit would they come up with to really make a character so great, right, that you just have to have them? I'm curious to see. I'm curious to see what this year is going to bring. Now, the one character we did not mention is Yelena. She's down there in just sub, like she's ranked 21. And obviously that doesn't mean she's bad. She's got really good stats. She's actually stronger than many of the characters that just came out. But we're just here to say, right, take advantage of the opportunity that we have right now. Everything coming out in the game right now, each new team is going to be stronger than the last. So this is, again, excellent opportunity to get in on the game, come back to the game and reset your roster, because every time we get a new stat bump like this, that's all that happens. It is a complete roster reset as the game goes on. What do you think about this? Are we on the right track? Are you planning on building the Winter Guard team? I want to hear your thoughts below in the comments. Do you think that Yelena is the character that we should sub out to put in somebody stronger, or Should it be the Red Guardian? That's an interesting question. That's something to talk about. But hey, if you haven't seen this video right here, please check it out. It's legit.